There's something about the macabre that ignites the imagination of humanity. The process of coming up with scary stories and using them to frighten other people has been around since people could tell stories. It's a long and glorious tradition, people coming up with frightening stories around a fire, moving on into literature where people read books that they can't help but turn the pages and see what's going to happen next. It's moved on into cinematic history more recently. Monsters have become so commonplace. I mean, we've got cute monsters now, we've got funny monsters, we've got the misunderstood monsters, we've got the monsters that are trying to be better. There's so many, I can't even with all these monsters.
I Can't Even With These Monsters is the new game from designer Daniel Solis, art by Andrew Bates, and released through Level 99 Games. As the title implies, there are monsters. Plenty of them. They're all here to play, and they all do different things, and they all are ready to score you some points. The goal is to end the game with the highest even-numbered score. That's right, you could end the game with 2 points and beat everyone else at the table who scored 51 plus. Get it? I can't even with these monsters? Cards are dealt and players pick 2 of the monsters from their hand, placing one in front of them face up and one face down. Then, players go around and take a monster from another player, either the face up or the face down, and add it to their own hand. Once everyone has had a chance to do so, players simultaneously score any remaining cards in front of them by placing them off to the side into their bank. Scores are adjusted, play continues for 7 rounds, after which whoever scores the highest even amount of points is declared the winner. If no one has an even score, the highest odd score wins. I Can't Even With These Monsters offers a pretty interesting and light hand management experience, and proves that Level 99 Games has more to offer than giant, glorious table eaters. The I Can't Even franchise has that unique aspect of prioritizing an even score just as much as having a high score. In concept, it's an intriguing idea, but I found it a little wobbly in practice. Each monster scores in a unique way, so being able to score the necessary monsters in the necessary round depends heavily on reading the table and figuring out what might be taken by your opponents. In lower player count games, this is almost manageable, but at the 5 to 6 player count, you're more or less rolling dice. What it boils down to is trying to get the highest score possible, and then in the last round or two trying to make sure you end up on that even numbered space. Managing your hand accordingly is the tricky part. It's sometimes doable, but often proves more tedious than is ideal. But that's the crux of the game. Get those even points. While that's sometimes a major issue, it does drastically shift the focus of the gameplay into something pretty unique, and that works really well for the lower player counts. I'm not saying that it isn't fun at 6 players. On the contrary, considering it is a light hand management game with some direct take-that action in the form of stealing cards from opponents, it's a lot of fun, albeit chaotic. This isn't a game of perfect strategy. It's a game of lost and failed strategy, which is great. The fact that each monster scores differently means that you're going to want your opponent to take certain cards. You're playing the table just as much as you're playing your own hand. The bottom line is this: the game is chaotic and fun, with an element of strategy in how you play your cards, along with what cards you decide to steal. Ultimately, landing on that magic even number is left up to the final moves of the game. But up until that point, there's a good deal you can do to nab that high score. The pivot point is going to be polarizing. Someone could have a monstrously high score and lose because they couldn't manage to get that even score. Due to the fact that this is a lighter game and it takes very little time to play, I'm okay with that. As always, know what this game is before you buy it. The art and theme tie in quite well, and managing the monster's special abilities is tricky and fun in a way that's nerve-wracking in the best ways.